Hey, Bruce Bartlett with Flip Great. Quick video here to let you know how to figure out what a flipper will pay for your fix your house. So take a look. If you've got any questions, let us know. Reach out to us. We hope it's helpful. Thanks. How to know what a flipper will pay for your house in Los Angeles and pretty much every other part of the country too. Why listen to me? Used to be a managing partner at Square Real Estate Partners. We flipped a whole bunch of houses. I was in the Wall Street Journal, covered the Los Angeles Business Journal. I speak at national conferences, and I've got a 100% success rate. So I know a little bit about this. So here's you. And you've got to fix your house. You're going to sell it to a flipper, and they're going to fix it up and sell it to someone else. But you want to know, how much will they pay? Well, what a flipper will pay is simply the final price that they're going to sell the house for, less all their costs and their profit. So what are all their costs? Well, you got sales costs, you've got insurance and taxes, property taxes, financing costs, renovations, repairs, investor costs, inspections, overhead. But the first thing you need to figure out is how much they can sell it for, okay? That is, what is ARV? In the industry, ARV stands for after repaired value. Okay, it's not, it is what the house will actually sell for, not what you want it to sell for, hope it will sell for. It's not the asking price. It's what you're actually going to get for it at the close of escrow. Again, it's not what we hope. It's what's actually going to happen. Let's be realistic here. So we look at the comps in the neighborhood for very recently either flipped or updated homes that, other than those improvements, are as close as possible to your property. Okay, so we're looking at the size of the lot, location, the house size, bed, bath count, age, architecture, and the view. We don't care about pools. In regards to the lot size, the most valuable thing your house has is the dirt in Southern California. So if their lot is bigger or smaller, pay attention to that. It's going to affect value. Location, are you next to a 7-Eleven or are you in the middle of a super quaint tree-lined block? Makes a difference. The house size, that's pretty straightforward. That's just the square feet. Bed, bath count, you get that. Age, you get that. Architecture, hey, some stuff is in vogue at times and it's not. Mid-century's in, then it's out. Postmodern is in and then it's out. So is your house currently something that's cool or not cool? That will affect the value. Do you have a view? That's very important, because in a neighborhood, you can have some houses that have views and some houses don't. You can't treat them the same. Just like you could have a house on a busy street and a house that's on a quiet street. Even though they're the same square footage and the same lot size, they're not going to sell for the same price. So we take the average dollar per square foot for that upgraded similar product in your neighborhood, and now you take that number and you multiply by the size of your house. Okay, this does not include brand new construction. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. Keep the math simple in this situation. We're going to assume that you did that math and the ARV equaled $1 million. So step 2, subtract the sales costs. In this case, the sales costs, the realtor commissions, escrow costs, title costs, LA County transfer fees. Again, to keep it simple, we're going to assume it's right around 6.5%. So we take that out. Now we're down to $935,000. Step 3, subtract the costs of the renovations and other expenses. Okay, so if a flipper's buying a house, if it all needs is paint and carpet, well, anybody can buy that house and do the paint and carpet, but a flipper's not going to buy it. Okay, there's no money in it. They need to get something, usually it's in pretty bad shape, so they can really increase the value and make some money. In this case, we're going to assume that the house is 1,750 square feet. And to do those types of improvements, usually you can't get away from spending anything less than $100 a square foot. So 1,750 times 100, the cost to improve it are $175,000. Now, this flipper could have other costs too, financing costs, the lender fees, all that fun stuff. But just keep the math simple. We're going to assume all of that bundled together is the 175. So we take out the 65, we take out the 175, and now we're down to 760,000 that he can pay for your house. But he's got to make some money. Okay, she's not a monk. Okay, she's in this to make money. 15% generally is the national average of what people need to make on these projects, or they're not going to buy your house because it's not worth the risk. So in this case, that's $122,000. You take all of that out. What can they pay for your house? $638,000. That's how they do it. It's just that simple. And you can do that too. So you'll know what a flipper will pay for it, before you talk to a flipper. So you're not surprised when they offer you a number and you go, oh my gosh, that's so low. This is how it works. They take the sale price, they back out the expenses, they back out their profit. This is where they end up. Okay, please be aware, you and everyone else suffers from something called the endowment effect. Okay? The endowment effect is when you own something, It's totally human. Probably you're overvaluing it. They do sociological experiments on this all the time, and people overvalue that which they own. Okay, don't take this personally. We all suffer from it. You can look it up on, in this case, I just pulled it from Investopedia. You can look up on Wikipedia. But the big takeaway here, I highlighted in red down at the bottom, is research has identified ownership and loss aversion as the two main psychological reasons causing the endowment effect. Well, when you think about the home being the most valuable asset anybody has, and in Southern California, that's probably far more expensive than in other parts of the country, I can't think of anything causing more of an endowment effect than the home that they own in Southern California. So, long story short, you probably overvalue your house, and possibly by quite a bit. Okay? So try to be realistic when you're looking at the comps, okay? Nobody loves your house as much as you do. Nobody. Okay? Nobody else has this problem because only you own your house. We just look at your house as an asset, like a stock or a bond or anything else, okay? We just don't, we're not that into your house, okay? If the price isn't right, we can just go buy something else. Now, this can cause problems in regards to buyers and sellers, okay? Or as I should say, flippers and sellers finding a price that they can both agree on. That's one of the reasons why we created Flipgrate. And at Flipgrate, we basically give away free money. No, really. So we have a fixer house here, but the owner has no money or time for repairs. Okay? If he sells it to the flipper, well, the lender has to get paid, the investor, Mr. Burns, has to get paid, the flippers have to make money. Now, as I said, when they sell it, it's 6.5%, but there's also the 1.5% that the buyer's going to pay too. There's all these costs involved. And in the case of the flippers, once they get the house, they're going to incur all those costs all over again. Okay, so at Flipgrate, what we do is we make all this go away. We get rid of all the waste. Okay, because wouldn't it be 10 times simpler if Homer here could just sell directly to the Flanders? Because what we're going to do is we're going to fix up the house for Homer. He doesn't have the time, he doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the expertise, and in 30 days, we're going to make the house look like this so that he can sell it and make a heck of a lot more money, and we're going to share in the profit with him. So Homer does nothing, Homer spends nothing, Homer gets an extra $125,000 when he sells the house. Just by the way, in this model, we still use that $1 million figure. And not only is he going to do nothing, spend nothing, and get an extra $125,000, he's going to sell it 2 weeks faster, because that fixer house is going to sit on the market for a while, and then once it gets into escrow, you're going to have to argue about all the problems it has and how much of a discount the buyer needs for those problems, and then it may fall out of escrow because they're not happy with that. Then it goes back on the market, and then everyone's looking at it going, wow, what's wrong with that house that it fell out of escrow? It can take a long time to sell a fixer, okay? Our houses typically sell in less than a week with multiple offers, almost always with offers over the asking price. So at Flipgrate, we renovate the house and prep it for sale at zero upfront cost to you. We pay for it. We do all the work. Those are real projects we've done. 30 days or less. You can use any realtor you want, as long as it's not yourself. Make more money when you sell. We split the increased value that we create with you. You sell faster. No hassles. Oh, and if you don't have one of these fixer houses, but you know someone who does, okay, you can refer them to us, and if they use the service and actually go through the process and close escrow, escrow will send you $5,000. So that's about it for today's presentation. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me via the website, email me, go to Facebook, leave us something there. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and I look forward to speaking to you in the future.